Alright, I swear after this one, because this is the second video in a row, we're moving away from canceled games unless there's some kind of massive release or something like that again. I did want to talk about the Superman game though, because this is something that has been coming up off and on for years. Rocksteady, they're making a Superman game. WB Games, they're making a Superman game. Oh, did you guys hear a Superman game's going to come out? And no Superman game. The closest we got other than Injustice and Lego DC, everything, was really just what's happening with Justice League. Or, Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League. I was going to say Justice League, kill the Suicide Squad. That sounds probably not like the actual title. I'm very tired. Regardless, last time we did talk a little bit about the Batman game that was canceled from WB Games, how there was all this different material from it. I also made a video complete about the Damian Wayne game that was likely from, which is on my channel as well. And today we are looking at Superman because Jared S. Marantz, who I will obviously credit this art belongs to, him and WB, I would assume, since it's their characters, he posted on Instagram a couple of pictures that went along with the Batman pictures. And since then, he has posted another picture of the Batman image as well, which I will show here from the previous video, which actually was tagged with Kingdom Come, and it was tagged with Batman, DC Universe, The Dark Knight, Bruce Wayne. There was a lot of stuff in there, but Superman himself got a few different images on his Instagram as well, because he did post an image of Bizarro, which said, I got a chance to work on one of my favorite DC villains, hashtag Bizarro, for a canceled video game. I've always wanted to do a pass on this guy, hashtag DC, and he did concept art, character design, Kryptonian, ZBrush, game art, me friend, which I find to be the best one, and Superman. After that, he also did post, a picture of Batman, and then he posted another picture from what appears to be a Superman game, which is of the villain Parasite. The supervillain Parasite is a recurring villain with the Justice League, but mainly with Superman himself, as he is a villain that is able to absorb the life force or temporarily absorb the superpowers of a superpowered individual, which would obviously make him a formidable threat for Superman and somebody he would likely not want coming within 10 feet of him and grabbing him. He did say, hashtag Parasite design for canceled video game. Always wanted to tackle this character, one of my absolute favorites in the DC universe. And he left some images there of Parasite as well, which we get to see. One of them is really interesting. It's this opened image. It almost looks like a face hugger, and he's drooling from that. That's sort of obviously where he would connect to one of the characters who he was taking the powers from or stealing the life force from. Now, here's the real question, because I cannot guarantee to you that this is absolutely from the Superman game. Why do I think it is? Where's my evidence for this other than him saying it's a canceled video game? I think that's a fair question. Why am I making this video? Because we did actually cover a while back that there was other concept art leaked for a Superman game in the past. This is not a one-off. This was from this artist, Jared S. Marantz, that we got this image here, or these images, Bizarro, Parasite, etc. But the other image we got was actually from somebody else. This was, and I'm going to butcher the name, I did it the first time too, Joel dos Rios Viegas. I can't pronounce this name very well, I'm sorry, and I did just as bad of pronouncing names as a teacher and talking, believe it or not. That's probably why I don't do that anymore, one of many reasons. This image was actually released in his portfolio. You can still access that online. It is still up, and that image is of Superman flying through what appears to be Metropolis and just kind of, doing his thing. He's out there in the world. He's saving the world. And something interesting about this is that it does corroborate more Superman-related concept art coming out as well. And on top of that, there's not just that image. So we already have 3 images between 2 verified industry concept artists. This is not some, these are not amateurs. These are people who did actual work. I mean, so for example, that one that I just talked about, Joel dos Rios Viegas, he did work for Arkham Knight. there's Arkham Knight concept art official on his actual portfolio in there. This is not some kind of amateur artist. No offense, amateur artists. It's just not, that's not the way it is. This is someone who did work for Arkham Origins as well that we can see in that concept art portfolio. So this was an official image, not a fan-made image. And on top of that, there was also more concept art released way back of things like what appeared to be Superman either in a Kryptonian structure or in his Fortress of Solitude, a bunch of Superman villains in a lineup. We had Superman firing his laser blasts at what appeared to be Doomsday, stopping a meteor over the water. There's just a lot of stuff going on here with Superman. There have been so many images of Superman over the years, and we're starting to kind of get more of a complete and clear picture of what this game could have been or what they wanted it to be. So, for example, they clearly wanted there to be in this Superman project or in a Superman project a wide array of villains. We have people like from Bizarro who would obviously challenge Superman. Bizarro is like toe-to-toe with Superman, maybe not in intelligence, but in power. He would balance out Superman and be able to go up against him. So you have a foe like that. You also have a foe like Parasite. This is an interesting one because this is a foe who would be able to absorb Superman's powers and fight back against him as well, or who would really challenge him to protect civilians or other people around because he would be able to very easily kill them without a second thought. And we also can see other things from these images as well because it might come off as just, well, the game existed, right? They were trying to make a game. They were trying to make a project. But what we can learn from this too is that obviously Superman was going to be able to fly, no duh. We assumed that. But there was a lot of talk about if they made a Superman game, maybe it would be a depowered Superman, or Superman at least scaled down almost to the level he was when he lost his powers in the New 52. That clearly isn't what they were going for. They were going for a sprawling metropolis in this concept art with a flying Superman who appears to have all of his powers. You see this through other concept art as well. Him flying again, the lasers, catching and throwing the meteorite, hovering in the air. Pretty much everything going on here is peak Superman. And that's honestly why I think this game didn't ever come to fruition. I'm not saying you can't do it. We've talked about this in the past. You definitely can make a Superman game, right? We all agree with that. But the problem is if you're going full powered Superman just out there, going up against other villains like Metallo, it almost looked like Deadshot, but I couldn't tell who one of these villains was. Darkseid was considered for it. Doomsday, Brainiac, all these characters. You have Superman fully powered going up against them. That's going to be hard to make a full video game because it looks like they wanted it set on Earth. Now, if they wanted it set in outer space completely and out almost a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe out in the cosmos, I think that's much different. But on Earth, you have a much harder time with Superman. If somebody knocks him around, does he slam right through a building and knock it down? Because then you have the criticisms of the Superman game that you see from Man of Steel of, oh, well, Superman wouldn't let that happen. So do you just have an indestructible environment in Metropolis? Do you have it so Superman can just wipe out everything? And the game is criticized for not actually portraying Superman the right way. What do you do there? I think that this really would have been a better project if you started in outer space, or like some people talked about in my Why a Superman Game is Hard to Make video, you start with a less powerful Superman and you gradually scale him up over time. But I don't know, I'm interested to see your thoughts. I think that there is enough images out here that we sort of have a bit of a reveal or look at what that Superman game really would have been or what they were trying to make it at WB. But I'm interested to know your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you have liked to see this game? Would you like to see a Superman game going forward at some point? What would you want to see out of that? Would you want to see him on Earth? Would you want to see him out in space? That's something interesting to me as well. And where would you want this to start? Are there any comic books that you'd want this based off of, etc.? I'm interested to know your thoughts. As always, like if you enjoyed the video, please. It helps me out a ton. Dislike it if you dislike it. That actually helps me out a ton too. Any engagement is good engagement on YouTube. And leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. I'm interested. I do read them. I'll see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day. And as always, everybody, stay shway.